mister. You sound good, you look good. You can see mama. Mommy work hard for you.
Sometimes it can get rough when you've had enough. I'll be your Don Corleone. When you're feeling down, feeling low, you'll never be alone. Not when you're right with me. Oh, I won't say no.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We're sitting on the couch, so you know what that means. We're coming back with another story time. This story time will be our, because you know, I'm foreign with it, and when they are foreign, them say the man and the woman pregnant. So our labor and delivery video or experience. But first, we want to take a minute to thank all of our subscribers, everyone who subscribed, liked, shared, commented on our videos. If you've watched, if you've told a friend, anything that you've done to support us so far, we want to say thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Continue sharing, continue getting the word out about CamFam. We're only going up from here. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, I want to say I gave birth here in Canada. Obviously, Cameron is 1. No, he just turned 1 in June. But I want to say my labor, it was okay. I've watched other videos here on YouTube where people have been talking about their labor and delivery experience, and it was 10 times worse than mine. So I have to give God thanks that we brought a healthy baby boy into the world who's now 1. We're super grateful for that. But leading up to the birth of our son, we had some scary times, guys, and we can only thank God that he's here today, healthy, giving, you guys see him in the videos, running up and down, giving lots of trouble. But we were scared for a little while when he was born. But before we get into that, when I found out I was pregnant, I was still going to school here because that was the whole goal. I came here to go to school, right? I was in my last semester.
You just started last semester?
Yeah, just started my last semester of my last year of school. So I told my mother, and typical Jamaican mother, she was upset. Well, I don't want to say she was upset, but she wasn't happy because of course I came here to go to school, so she wasn't expecting it that soon. But for some reason she thought that me being pregnant, I would have to stop going to school and XYZ and stay home, take care of baby. But that wasn't the case, and I told her that wasn't the case. I could still finish school, and I did, on a roll and everything. And she was fine. But the pregnancy journey was, we had stress like any other new parents or newly expecting couples, but it was okay. What would you say?
But we can say, like, you hear people talk about them delivery experience and, oh yeah man, just when you're pregnant everything be good and be nice, and after the week hard. Like, if your heart not strong, you're not gonna make it through. Like, the scares them will get, and leading up everything nice, but when you're actually in a delivery room and everything that take place and it out of your control, hell of an experience. But wouldn't give it up for them, honestly.
Yeah,
give it
so
up for anything.
as I mentioned before, we had a little scare at around 7.5 months. I was bleeding. The doctors couldn't tell me why. Even though I still don't know why. But
I'm not really bleeding. Like, alright, for example, we were laying in bed and then out of nowhere, clear water
And
or
blood.
gush out and
I was
blood.
bleeding, yeah.
So we know things say okay, she in a labor, so we rush God hospital and I say, alright, I eat this and it. Did they drive on a speed for the highway?
At 7.5 months, guys, and I called my mom because at this point I was 100% over being pregnant. I wanted to have this baby, okay, at 7.5 months, but no, looking back, that would have put him at risk. And but if you've ever been pregnant, you know at that point I was completely over it. But it turns out I stayed in the hospital for 3 days, 2 or 3 days, yeah, and then they released me. I was fine, the baby was fine. Now I was about 8.5 months pregnant now, and my cousin and I, Terian, we were pregnant at the same time. Now fast forward to 8.5 months, she was 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ahead of me, yeah. And I got a call, or not a call, we have a family group on WhatsApp. Seeing the group now, Terian just have our baby.
So you know, get jealous now?
People who did upset like me, I think I did cry. I cried because I was saying, why everybody have them baby except me? She had her baby, Amir, and he was fine, but of course I was still very upset because, guys, I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, walk till my full, I buy ball, exercise ball, bounce till my full, and nothing. Cameron still never want to come up until the day before my due date. No, it was actually my due date, yeah. I went to the doctor and he checked me, and I wasn't even 1 centimeter dilated. I'm like, this child is so stubborn. Him just don't want to come, and him come when him feel like. So he checked us. Here, when you reach your due date, they offer you the induction. So I was really over it. So I'm like, doctor, get him out. The soonest I can take him out, just take him out, or push him out, or induce me, anything I can do. So they scheduled my induction for the next day. Went back home now. I was having contractions.
Mild contraction, a little bit.
Yeah, mild contraction. Talk your part.
So,
Or what you remember.
So reach home now and everything, and you know, we know say it had been the next 24 hours, so I prepare yourself. Now she know, we know I said she did ready.
I was ready. People,
but it's when
I
the pain
was
start
ready.
liquor. For example, you can see a video like when the pain start liquor and she come out and show up, so she bend down, so and I say, yeah man. They're on the table and she say bend down, so. But little did we know say that are the lowest part of it.
Guys, that was nothing. Like, me I tell you something, I say,
Trying to
alright.
start time them and everything and realize okay, we need to go to the hospital. No, man, we go to the hospital and she really start feeling now. They did it a second time.
No, they didn't. I didn't end up getting the induction, people, because when I went back to the hospital and they checked me, I was about 1.5 centimeters dilated. So they were like, okay, he's on his way. It doesn't make any sense to induce you because you're already dilating. I went to the hospital, people. I was in pain. Swear say a big pain, when it turns out it was a little pain. Nothing compared to what I would have felt later, okay? So we're there in the triage area because there was no room. We wanted a private room, but because it was in the era when COVID just started, the hospitals were just figuring out what they were doing. So they were reserving the private rooms for COVID maternity people, pregnant women who had COVID. So we could only get a semi-private room, but the delivery room itself was a private room. It was only me and DJ there.
Surprisingly, I was actually able to stay there because they wouldn't have allowed
Yeah. So we were there, still in the triage area, and the pains were, the contractions were coming much quicker and they were so intense. But For some reason, guys, I didn't want to ask them for the epidural. I was scared because
She's been reading up.
no, it's
well,
not
reading
only
up
that.
on videos and people talk about it with back pain and the after effects.
Not
everything.
only that, but I was scared to bother anybody. For some reason, I don't know why, I was scared to bother
She's
the
never that
nurses.
person. She's never that person. She's a business woman.
Yeah, but for some reason I was scared to bother them. So I was there in the triage area. The doctor came to check me. I was in so much pain and he was still pushing his hand up in my area while I was having a contraction, and I'm like, this man is so evil. Like, him see me have a contraction and him still I try check. And he checked me and he left, and by this point I was getting up off the bed, kneeling down because I was in so much pain. And
First off, the gown them where it open up at the back and this girl that walk up on them with the whole of her bottom outside.
first of all,
And at the big hospital.
we're in a hospital, people. There's only doctors and nurses there.
In the matter.
Everybody used to bottom and everybody used to vagina, okay?
Supposed outside.
Well, I was giving birth, excuse me.
Supposed outside.
Anyways, by this point I was in excruciating pain, like I've never felt pain. And the thing is, when I was doing my research and everything, for some reason, and I'm not sure if it's like this with other moms who've given birth, but for some reason I was expecting the pain to be in my lower abdomen area, and it wasn't. It was in my back. So that's the shock of the pain not being where I expected it to be, plus the scale of the pain that I was in. And DJ was like, you want me to call him to give you the epidural? I'm like, no, I can wait. I can. Of course, this is between contractions, because when I was having the contractions I could not speak. So I was like, you want me to call him to give you the epidural? And I said, no, I'm bothering nobody. And
Listen, we can't take you serious in a pain. Like, at the worst thing. Couldn't manage it, so run go outside now and ask them to come get the epidural. No?
people, I've never seen DJ like that. He sat there and he literally could not watch me. That's how much pain I was in. He could not watch me in pain anymore. And he went out there and he said, I heard him talking to the nurses, and he said, can she get the epidural now? And they said, hold on, they're gonna send the doctor to come check me. The doctor came and checked me, and they were moving me to the delivery room, and then they were gonna give me the epidural. People, you see, from the triage area to the delivery room, I had a contraction. At this point, I don't care what want to be showing from what don't want to show. I bent over and my rear end, all of back there, was outside. And this one tried to fix my clothes in the middle of a contraction. People, who does that? I'm like, DJ, leave me alone. These are doctors and nurses. They're used to seeing people's behind. Okay, he might try to fix my clothes and I'm in labor. But, yes, tell them why you do that.
What do you mean? We don't sit there. It's supposed to outside. It's not supposed to outside.
It's not supposed to outside when I'm in labor.
Moving on to the room now.
Yeah. That is another thing, people. Went to the delivery room to get the epidural, right? I'm in so much pain. This guy, understand, right? For every partner, support person or partner who's ever been there when your significant other is giving birth, I understand that you want to be supportive, but you have to listen to them. I was getting the epidural and DJ, for some reason, insisted, guys, he would not take no for an answer, insisted to hold my hand.
Anyways, the epidural needles like this, right? And the doctor say, don't move, else you can get paralyzed. Now imagine if she make one little...
I did.
Well, Anna, at the most scariest thing, imagine you got a baby and you come out paralyzed.
So you don't want to cripple.
But yeah,
But
man,
no.
the nigga did very long and she done afraid the nigga already, so you can imagine how she did afraid. So I mean, no, you do a old man. It's
I
like, ah,
didn't. Actually, I did not
worry yourself.
because I was in so much pain. But
Don't
he
worry
insisted to hold
yourself,
my
don't worry
hand.
yourself.
Guys, to
Don't worry
him hold on
yourself.
for my hand so. And me I said, DJ, I know when you hold my hand, just leave me alone. Just let me go through this. But people him insist for hold my hand for some reason. I don't know what
No,
it
let me
is.
understand what I mean by that, so that no.
And him, as I just dig out him, and because me I say, I know why you hold my hand, just leave me alone, make them jump me in my back and make the pain stop, and then you can hold my hand after the epidural when we feel better. But I got the epidural, and after that, guys, smooth. Listen, this is not an epidural promotion or ad by any chance. You do what you must to get your child safely into this world. Okay, at that point I was over it. I was about what, maybe 5 centimeters dilated, and I decided I could not do it anymore. I couldn't take the pain, the agony. Like my mother told me, when the baby was coming or when the baby pain reach, I will know. And people, the baby pain did reach. I couldn't take it no more. And I got the epidural, and that was it. I slept. DJ slept. You never sleep?
I'm gonna sleep the whole night.
Well, I
never
slept.
sleep.
DJ
You
was
sleep,
in the
you
corner
sleep.
on his little cot with his sheet, and insert a clip so you guys can see. And I slept like a baby until I was 10 centimeters. They came in, they checked me.
Every, what, hour, every 2 hours?
I don't even remember. They came to check. You would know. I was asleep.
I wasn't asleep.
Yeah, they came and they checked until it was time to push. They turned on the light. My doctor came in and he told me it was time to push. That in and of itself was another dilemma, guys. It's still traumatized.
When you're traumatized,
Yes,
it's
I'm
like,
traumatized.
you see when you see the lights them turn on, you know, say, yeah man, you really know. And the light them just bright and just, you know, focus. And
Everyone was
She
looking
couldn't-
up into my JJ.
and as much as we didn't want to record more, we couldn't even get the chance because we didn't want dead ear for you, you know?
Yeah, he wanted to be by my side, people holding my hand like have a whole hand problem, but
And yeah man, the pain the car and should have to get a second epidural.
oh yeah. Was it yeah,
Yes.
they had this thing, this machine where the doctor told me if the pain came on, like I should press the button and it would administer some medicine, but for some reason that wasn't working. So guys, me know the pain without epidural, and I know the savior feeling with the epidural. So I felt the pain wearing off, and I told them to call the anesthesiologist to give me some more epidural because
Good words.
there is no way I was going to push this child out in that much pain. So the doctor came, and luckily they didn't have to put the needle back into my back. I was hooked up to the IV or whatever it was. And guys, let me tell you, when I was pushing, I did not feel a thing. Like I felt a little pressure, but I couldn't feel anything. I was completely numb down there. So we got to pushing, and
Good amount of try and stop, and yeah, so the real time coming up, Cameron start push out, and
oh yeah, they told me to stop pushing because his heart rate was dropping.
Yeah.
So this is the beginning of turmoil for us people. They told me to stop pushing. My doctor told me to stop pushing because the baby's heart rate was dropping.
We you can hear the heartbeat to the man. There was a
Yeah.
machine there, you can hear the heartbeat too. So
And then he said, they called the pediatrician, right? They didn't want me to deliver the baby without the pediatrician in the room. So we're there waiting for like maybe 3 minutes, but it felt like 10 hours. Guys, I'm there crowning. The baby's top part of Cameron's head was literally outside because I felt it, but I couldn't push him out. Before even that, they inserted a needle, was it? some monitoring device.
Because the
It had-
device that they had put on her belly for monitor camera, and I guess because it's moving around, say now monitor
Yeah.
properly. So, funny enough, for weeks after Cameron born, he had this thing in his top of his head, and me I tell her for weeks, but up weeks, say yo, they had to stick something in his head, and she thought, no, they won't do that.
Guys, there
It
was
is
a
a true thing. They had
needle.
to
I
stick
don't
Cameron in
know
his
what
head
it is.
to monitor his heart rate.
Yeah, I'll try to find a picture and insert it in the video. But Cameron had a little scar on the top of his head, and I'm like, where did this come from after he's born? And I saw it and I said, which part did this come from? And DJ was telling me that the thing that they pushed, it was like a pin. Somebody said, no way, they could never push a pin in my chest, and he wasn't even outside in his head. But that was the case, and here I was laying on the hospital bed. Cameron's top part of his head was out, but they didn't want me to push him out because his heart rate was dropping. So the pediatrician finally came now, and it was like 3 pushes and Cameron was out. When he came out, guys, he was not crying. And I'm looking at DJ. They immediately rushed him over to the side, right? And I'm looking at DJ, I'm like, what is happening? I heard
because when he came out, they wouldn't allow me to go over to him, so I had to stay by her. And he wasn't, I don't want to say he wasn't breathing. He wasn't breathing, right? And he wasn't crying or anything. So they tried to stop, and
no.
then
Before even that, I heard over the intercom code pink. So me now just giving birth. Immediately, not even 30 seconds after that, about 6 doctors stormed into the room.
More than that.
Doctors stormed into the room. So
like when you watch that movie, then you see somebody like have heart failure or something. You see the back of doctor them run come in the room.
Yeah,
that was the case,
it.
and the one of them surround him and them are pump him and. Listen, I have never.
I may look on DJ,
anything like that.
Yeah, I'm scanning the room and I'm like, what is happening here? Because at first they were telling me that his heart rate was dropping, and now he came out, he wasn't crying. They rushed him over to the side. I'm hearing code pink, 10 doctors rushing into the room, and now you have this one of it was a midwife. Because my legs were up like this, and the lady who helped to deliver the baby, the midwife, I had 2 tears. She's sewing up my down there, and all the action going on over there. And apparently they told DJ that he couldn't stay over there. I didn't know, but he was by my side. And I looked at him and I said, "Wait, you do beside of me? I am fine. Go over there to the baby." And he told me, "You can't go over there." And the lady in between my legs now telling me, he's fine.
That's all in the
pediatrician is here, he's okay. And me I think to myself, I say, lady, oh, if you tell me my baby fine, if him not cry, I didn't know that he wasn't breathing until after when I researched what the code pink meant. And it was a pediatric heart failure or something like that.
That's
the baby wasn't breathing.
But anyway, so them push a tube down Cameron's throat and go straight down to his belly, and them suck out her chest, them suck out some fluid, and bam, start crying. And after that, sigh of relief. Them carry over the baby to Chrissy, and she did ball. And
what do you mean when they cry? I was bawling
when
because
Cameron come out in white like a Chinese
yeah,
man.
he was so white, guys. So this is really my child.
But as I said, when you give you the experience, and it's scary.
Yeah, after I knew he was fine, I was okay. Yeah. I stopped crying. The lady finally moved from between my legs, sewing me up. But yeah, they brought him over. We did skin to skin, and I held my little baby. He was so perfect. Oh, I'm gonna cry. He was so perfect, guys. He was so white, but he was so perfect. He had the chubbiest cheeks, and he had the sweetest little cry. And
The little troublemakers right now, and I aim at somebody else.
That's not different. I don't
Somebody else.
even know who that.
We know who that.
I don't know who that baby is.
The baby
Not
was
even
struggling
baby.
for
I don't
progress,
know
we
who
know
that
that.
man is. But that's not my baby. I'm joking.
But
We love him, but Cameron.
honestly, the experience, but I always hear people talk about, say, yo, you know, it gotta be something. Them right, it was something, but it's somewhere everybody have experienced themselves. Everybody's story not gonna be the same. Everybody not gonna have it sweet and nice. So
Spoken like a true dad. I'm proud dad. Guys, the sad part came because of COVID. They only allowed DJ to stay for 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour.
So
It was because it was when everything was happening. A lot was happening, so he could only stay for 1 hour.
So you know, we're going to carry a ball now.
And then he had to leave.
I want
guys.
a ball and
And
then
then
say,
as
yo, my baby just coming anywhere now. And if I can tell them something, I can't stay with them. I know I'm going to go to tomorrow.
and that was a if it was a short thing.
Call them off for money time.
Yeah.
But
as soon as Cameron came out, guys,
Yeah.
they say they only gave us 1 hour as a family, and that went by so fast. And
they
then
call everybody and everything.
yeah, they wheeled me out. I couldn't even stand. That's how drugged up I was from the epidural. They had to hold me and put me in the wheelchair. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel anything. And they brought us to the recovery area. And DJ left us, and it was just me and Cameron for the night. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was so tired. I fell asleep with Cameron in my hand. I was trying to nurse him. I fell asleep with him on my boob, and the nurse came in and she took him and she put him in the cot. I was exhausted. It felt like I ran a marathon. But to everyone who has ever given birth,
respect.
cheers.
Big
Like
respect.
it's one of those things, as DJ said, you can't even this story, I'm pretty sure some people will not grasp the magnitude of everything that goes down when you're giving birth. But that day gave me a whole different outlook on life and
Sure.
a whole different level of respect for my mother and my grandmother, because my mother have 3.
And you have some people that have 6 and that. No, it's like,
My mother have
times?
3, not 3. She have 3 picnic, 3 kids. And every day I tell people, like, Cameron is it. I don't think I need time to recover from this whole ordeal. I don't see myself going back there anytime soon, because it was so traumatic.
Get 3 years. In that age, you can, understand certain things. Get 3 years.
You gotta bring it. You gotta carry the baby.
Get somebody else.
You can start search from now, because Cameron,
But-
joke guys, give myself some time and no promises. But yes, so that's our labor and delivery story.
But
We gave
again-
birth at, well, I gave birth.
We
It was a team effort. We gave birth at
Like
North York General Hospital.
Yeah.
And the hospital itself, the nurses were super great. They were awesome. I have no complaints about. I've always not always, because I've only been here a short time, but based on the people that I've spoke to, they said that hospital is a rich hospital. I don't know where they get that from, but
We're not the money, we're poor, We're poor. Okay?
and I was still in school, so they accepted my school insurance and everything like that.
So-
But the nurses there were awesome. My doctor was awesome. I have literally 0 complaints. The only thing I would say is I wish we could have gotten a private room where DJ could have stayed and experienced that first night, because the help really would have been good. But
Oh, first off, let me say, so the drive home after I pick them up, are probably the slowest ever.
people
If you don't know
afraid
me,
for driving.
if people know me, them know say I'm not a fearful driver, okay? These are the
People.
slowest I ever drive in my life.
DJ afraid for driving with
say?
Cameron.
You hear me say, every time for the next couple weeks, every time I have Cameron, slow pace, snail pace. Yeah, man. Yeah,
The man afraid for drive the car with the baby in there. But overall, even though we hit some we had some rough patches, and it wasn't a smooth sailing pregnancy. For the most part, everything was fine. And we have to really give God thanks for that, because now Cameron is here. You guys see him. He doesn't stay still. Him give Bolly trouble. Now he's starting to talk back. And some days I just feel like I want my newborn back, but he's growing and he's doing things. A little tear. And I'm just so proud of the little human he's becoming. But yeah, guys, that's our labor and delivery story. Drop some comments if you guys want to hear more, or ask questions on anything else that you want to know.
Ask questions. Do ask questions.
Yeah, drop some questions in the comments with anything that you guys are interested in knowing about this whole lifetime experience, because it was a but guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
And continue to share our page. Come back, keep coming back. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your ex, your lover, everybody.
Don't
Just tell everybody,
tell
tell everyone about Cam and the fam, okay? Yeah, we love you guys. Thank you so much. We really cannot express how thankful we are for everyone who has supported us so far. Yeah, guys, until next time, thanks for making it Cam and the fam.
She gon' put it on you. She gon' do that.
Let me pull out my ear.